Welcome, yogis. This practice is dedicated to wakening the body up. It's perfect for first thing in the morning. It's also nice if you need a little energizer midday or perhaps a slow unwind before you move into your evening. So let's get started straight away. We're going to have 2 blocks handy nearby just in case. And we're going to take a moment to just find a comfortable seat, arriving into this new day or new practice and taking a moment to just pause and be present. So finding a nice comfortable seat, sitting cross-legged or on your shins. Closing your eyes, lifting the crown of the head up to the sky so you feel this elongation and lengthening of the spine here. Chest broad, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Just taking a moment to turn the palms to face upward. Setting an intention of receiving energy today. And drawing in what you need for this brand new day ahead. And just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling today. Notice how the physical body's feeling, how the mind is doing. And just taking a moment to switch off your thoughts about how things looked yesterday, any expectations about how today might be. Letting this practice serve as a gentle reminder to try to stay present in each and every moment that you come to, both in the practice, on the yoga mat, and away from the yoga mat into your practice of living. So notice how it feels to take a nice big breath in through the nose here. Slow, relaxed breath out through the nose as well. And become aware of that feeling of expansion in the body as you inhale. The lungs fill up with fresh energy. The ribs around the lungs expand to make way for that new space. And then everything that expanded starts to slowly come back to center on the breath out as you let go of anything you no longer need. Each new breath, fresh energy arriving into your system. And each breath out, the opportunity to let go. 2 more breaths just like this. And last one. And just notice how you feel after a few moments of really arriving into the here and now. Slowly starting to open the eyes, just changing the cross of the legs if you're in a cross leg position. Taking the left hand down to the side of the mat, right hand up and over. Finding some space through the side body. This QL area can get a little congested and sticky. So freeing it up first thing in the day feels so good. Let's try the other side. So come back up through center, right hand down, left hand up and over. Big breath. We'll do it one more time in each direction. Left hand down, right hand reaching. Nice. And then second time. Right hand down, left hand up and over. Perfect. Come on up through center. Roll yourself over into tabletop position here. As you inhale, soften the belly, chest comes forward, tailbone lifts. As you exhale, push the ground away with the hands. Broaden the upper back as you round through the spine. Close your eyes if you can, just slowly moving back and forth with the breath. No hurry to get anywhere at all, just noticing how the body's doing. The gentle awakening of the tissues in the front and the back of the spine. Gentle awakening of the tissues that connect the upper and lower body together. 2 more rounds of movement just like this. Noticing how things shift and unravel as the movement slowly has its effect. Coming back into neutral. Keep the hips where they are. Let's walk the fingers a little further forward, melting heart pose. Chin or forehead to the ground, most likely forehead, and just take a moment to breathe into the lungs in a similar way to how we started the practice. Becoming aware of the expansion of the ribs and the lungs beneath them as we inhale. And as we exhale, noticing that opportunity to go a little closer to the mat, a little deeper into our body. 2 more breaths here. We move the spine in this direction. We're inviting energy into the body. 1 more. And slowly lifting the chest, walking the hands back to underneath the shoulders. Now, tucking those toes under, lifting the hips, coming into downward facing dog. Hands push the earth away, hips nice and high, and just walking the dog for a moment, lifting one heel, bending the same knee, getting some movement through the back of the legs. Noticing how that feels for you today. Lengthening through the calves, the hamstrings, checking in with the Achilles. How does it feel to really lengthen the spine as you lift the hips up high here? Let's pause for a moment, walk the hands a couple of inches closer to the feet, weight into the right hand. Weight into the right hand as we take left hand across to the outside of right thigh and just draw the body over to the right side of the room here. Hand pushing the earth away, just a little twist through thoracic spine. And then when you finish the next breath you're with, left hand comes down. Weight into left hand, right hand travels to outside of left thigh as we do the same thing, second side. A moment to invert, a moment to release any tension here, awaken the spine. Releasing the hand back to the ground. And let's just slowly look to the top of the mat, soften our knees, tiptoe the feet to the top here, forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Head is heavy, neck is relaxed. You're just rocking forward between the toes and the heels of the feet here. Noticing how that feels in the back of the body. Then just slowly pausing as you roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head is the last thing to arrive, and guide the hands to heart center. Take the feet a little wider if you need to here. And as you push the hands against each other, become aware of this grounding through the front and back of the foot. Spreading of the toes wide, there's lifting upward of energy, so you feel the muscles around the hips start to engage. Belly draws lightly in and up, chest broad, upper back strong. Pushing down through the feet as you lift up through the fingers. On an exhale, hinge from the hips into forward fold. Now, interlace the fingers behind the back if you're able to. Hands reach away from lower back. Head still heavy, neck relaxed. Notice how that feels around the chest and shoulders here. And then release the hands to the earth, stepping right foot back as you lower the knee to the ground. Belly draws in and up as the fingers lift to the sky. Gripping the mat with the feet here. So it's kind of like you're drawing the feet towards each other. Belly draws in and away from front thigh. Take a nice big breath, just noticing and exploring how things feel today. Sink a little deeper into the hips, but can you lift a little higher through the heart? Some of you might like to interlace the fingers once again behind the back, chest lifting, hands reaching away from lower back. Big, big breath here. And then let's release the hands, right hand to the ground. Simple twist, left hand up to the sky, shoulder drawing back. Sinking down towards the earth with that right hip here. Some of us might go further again, lifting right foot, reaching around with the hand, drawing the foot into the hand here, leaning back, continuing to accentuate that opening. Some of you might come onto the outside edge of left foot, knee drawing outward here. If you can't reach the foot, you could still work towards bringing hand and foot together here. Nice big breath. And then slowly release the foot. Bring the hands to the inside of left foot for lizard pose here. And reach the chest forward. Lengthen through the spine. Getting a little deeper into the front of that right hip. A little deeper into the inner left thigh as well. Nice and broad. Some of us will come down to forearms. Some of us might use our blocks underneath our forearms. Some of us will stay on our hands here. Big, big breath. And then let's take the last breath here. We're going to come on up to bring the left foot in a little, hands framing the foot, tucking left toes under. Right knee down. Tucking right toes under. Lifting the knee as we turn the foot to a 90-degree angle. Lifting on up briefly to Warrior Two as we come down into Skandasana. Now, it might be a little early in the day, so if you need to bring props into play here or leave the hands on the ground, you can. Just continuing that opening of the inner thigh and groin here. Nice big breath, chest broad. One more. And then we turn the hands to face the back of the mat, turning the feet to face that way. Left knee comes down here as well. Fingers up to the sky. Belly drawn in and up. Inner thighs almost squeezing towards each other, gripping the mat with the feet, almost drawing those feet towards each other. Take a nice big breath. Opportunity to open the chest again here as we turn the palms to face forward, cactusing the arms here. Strengthening through the upper back, awakening around the front of the lungs. Take a nice big breath. And then lowering left hand to the mat. Simple twist to the right side of the room, shoulder draws back. Continuing to let left hip sink down towards the earth here. Add in, if you want to, picking up left foot. Foot and hand connect, potentially pushing foot into hand as you lean back indulgently with that right hand and shoulder. Remember, you can actively reach the hand and foot towards each other if they don't get there together on their own accord. And outer edge of right foot if it's available to you. Knee drawing out just to get a little closer to the floor here. Nice big breath. And then let go of that foot as you lower your hand to the inside of the right foot, moving that foot over a little if you need to. Now remember, option, staying on hands. Option to take your block, bringing it underneath, bringing your forearms onto the second height of the block. Option to stay on hands if that feels more manageable for you so early in the day. But the important part is collarbone broad, chest open. Finding space, drawing energy into the lungs, allowing that energy to circulate through the body, creating this feeling of life and freedom. One more breath. And wherever we are, let's just begin to navigate back to where we were. So rearrange that right foot into center, hands either side of it. Tucking left toes, lifting the knee, heel comes down. We briefly travel through a vague warrior two into Skandasana. Left knee bent, right leg straight, continuing into that right inner thigh here. Remember, you can use the ground with your hands to support if you need to. Chest broad, collarbone broad, finding space. One more breath here. And then hands to the ground as we turn to face top of the mat, stepping back to plank this time. Exhale, chaturanga. All the way down. Inhale, baby cobra, first round. Lowering yourself down. Baby cobra again, second round. This time lifting the hands if it feels a manageable prospect. Lowering down, coming onto fingertips here, a little wider than the mat, pushing into those fingertips as you inhale, coming up into cobra. Strong through the legs as you push through the feet, just noticing how that feels to awaken front body a little more. Nice, and then slowly coming all the way down. Hands back to the mat next to the chest, tucking of toes, lifting of knees, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Hands pushing the earth away. Thighs reaching back, head heavy, neck relaxed. Slowing the breath down just a moment. One more. And then slowly lowering the knees to the ground, coming to sit on the shins. Let's take a moment to reach right arm out in front of us, left arm on top. Bend those elbows, wrap the arms around each other, lift the fingers up to the sky. A little release through the upper back. Notice how it feels to reach the elbows away from the center of the body as you lift the fingers higher. Let's unwrap the arms, interlace the fingers behind the back. One little lift of the chest, fingers away from lower back. And then let's go in the opposite direction. Opposite arm on top, bending the elbows, wrapping the arms around each other. Fingers upward, elbows away. Breathing into that area between the shoulder blades. Nice and relaxed around the jaw, around the neck. One more breath here. And slowly unwinding the arms, hands to the thighs, a couple of rolls of the shoulders here. And taking your left arm behind your back, hooking the fingers to the side of the waist, left hand to the opposite side of the head, and drawing ear towards the shoulder, a little release through the side of the neck. Creating this feeling of space and ease as we move ourselves into this new day. Gently releasing the head as we swap sides. Other arm to the sky, taking hold of the side of the head, a gentle drawing of ear towards shoulder. Noticing how that feels from one side to the other. Nice and relaxed around the jaw and the neck. Moving calmly and effortlessly into this new day ahead of us. Free of any expectations, any judgments on ourselves. Releasing the head, releasing the arms, slowly moving ourselves down onto our bottoms. Legs relaxing, lying down onto our backs, coming into our version of Shavasana. Arms can be out wide, legs relaxed, feet falling freely in whichever direction they naturally fall. Closing your eyes as you settle back into this place of stillness. And starting to bring the smallest movements back into the fingers and the toes. Reaching the arms up overhead, inviting a full body stretch. And drawing the knees in towards the chest, giving them a hug as you roll a little from side to side, back and forth. Eventually coming to roll over and rest for a moment on whichever side feels best. Using your hands to push the ground away, lifting you up to a comfortable seat. And with your eyes closed, just checking in, noticing how you feel compared to when we first began the practice together. Which is the areas that feel spacious, energized and free. And letting yourself letting yourself be reminded of the full potential of the day ahead. Let's bring our hands together at heart center. Bowing our head to our hands in gratitude for the practice, in gratitude for our health. Namaste.